No.
No. But now you want this commission to believe that in 2020, you were hired to investigate irregularities within crime intelligence.
Commissioner, that is a fact. An irregular, the task was given to me, and for the commission, more clarity. It was not the first time. I just could not put. It's not in the statement. It was not the first time I was tasked to do any mission or a job for the crime intelligence.
What qualifies you to conduct that investigation?
My basic training. I have basic training.
Which is what, Mr. Mokgotsi? What is your basic training?
On counterintelligence, crime intelligence, and counterintelligence.
Where did you learn that?
We were more than a team of 10. Commissioners, when you get that training, even the pre-1994 arrangement, as you said, the ANC was disbanded in 1993, you will have a class. You will have a class, you will be sent to do certain things. You will have a class, you'll be sent from one place to another place. You will be tasked, look at this car, look at these people from KZN, or look at whatever that was required. And after that, you will be tasked.
So that is counterintelligence training to look at cars?
No, Commissioner. I don't, Commissioners, I took this opportunity last time, together with my lawyers, because now the questions we are posing, as far as I've said I'm an agent, I cannot deliberate more than that. I cannot go deeper and deeper into that on my side. We took Senior Counsel Churchillson to meet with my handler at the hospital. He explained to him when I was registered and what happened after deregistration. And it's not only him. I also did job with a mission between 2006 and 2008, proper one, with the former Divisional Commissioner, General Bob Madlanga. As I was saying earlier here, to corroborate information into evidence, if one is allowed, I can bring those people.
Let me interrupt you, Mr. Mokgotsi. I said short answers. I don't want you to go to 2008. I want to give Mr. Cheskalson his time back. Lastly, you said to Chair, you want this commission to believe that you are a contact agent. That's what you said in your response to the Chair. Do you accept that as we are sitting here today, you have...
Luno is celebrating 500 days since receiving its official government license from the government of South Africa.
That confirm, wait for the question. You have not supported this commission with any supporting documents that confirm your version that you are conducting investigations as a contact agent. We have nothing in front of us. You say you were in Kenya. We don't have your flight tickets. We don't have the communication between you and the person in Kenya. You say you called him on your cell phone. You say you followed Ket Matala to Durban. We don't have your flight tickets. You did not take photos of this place you followed him to. So there's absolutely nothing before us that supports the version that you conducted any of these investigations that you are mentioning. Are you at least prepared to accept that before us as we are sitting here today, other than your statement and your say-so, there are no documents that support the version that you are a contact agent and you conducted these investigations? Yes or no?
The question is very unfair, Commissioner. To say I have nothing, as I just said to you, Commissioners, contact agent, you will never find any identity of a contact agent. You will never. In this whole room, I am a state agent. I'm a contact agent. You will never find a document written contact agent. And as I say, I took
Mr. Mokgotsi,
Senior Counsel to the hospital.
Not a document that says contact agent. A document that shows that you conducted these investigations that you claim you were busy with?
No, Commissioners, Senior Counsel will have to answer on that. He met with my co-handler, and I believe they'll provide my file, because when you work, you report. You give your handler, and you report, you give him information, and all that information stays with your handler. There is no way that I can bring papers and give to you. And logically, unless you say, Commissioner, unless Commission has this belief that I just came here to come and impress people. I said, I did section 252A, it is with Ludi Schnell. The Commission found it there. I recorded someone and this happened. Commission found it there. I said there is Boko Haram's thing within the crime intelligence. I didn't tell you where to go. I can tell you now that you must go to the analysis department. You will find that thing there. That's how a contact agent works. You cannot find anything written. But I thought because I saw here in this bundle, there is a letter from crime intelligence. I thought we will talk about it. I just don't want to go to it before we get there. I'll answer about that. I'll provide you answers. Okay, you will never get a paper, anything, unless you meet with my co-handler who will provide you with a file.
Mr. Mokgotsi, if you're not going to answer the question I'm asking you, maybe let's leave that there. I want to give Mr. Chaskalson his time back.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. In fairness to Mr. Mokgotsi, I must confirm that we did interview in a hospital a man describing himself as Mr. Mokgotsi's co-handler with the name that has been shown to you. And he did confirm that he had been running Mr. Mokgotsi as an agent. We have certain questions we'd like to ask that man, but we're waiting for him to recover from his health condition.
Thank you for that, Mr. Chaskalson.
Mr. Mokgotsi, I want to talk today about your signal communications with the Minister. And to begin with, I want to put to you the proposition that Signal is a more secure app than WhatsApp. Would you accept that?
It's not, repeat the question, Constable.
That Signal is a more secure app, secure against against interception than WhatsApp.
It's correct.
And it's an app that is generally used for clandestine communications.
I don't know about that.
Well, you are an agent, are you not?
I know of Telegram.
Telegram.
That's what you're saying, yes.
Do you use Telegram in your clandestine communications?
It is used, yes.
And I know it is used, but I'm asking, do you use it?
I sometimes use it, correct.
And do you have access to a Telegram account that you could share with the Commission?
Not at the moment.
Why is that?
It's a long time that I did not use it.
So you haven't used Telegram since when?
Depending on the mission, for that particular purpose, I'll use Telegram. If there is nothing related or needed for that top classification information, I will not use it.
When last did you use Telegram?
I can't remember.
Was it this year, last year?
I can't remember.
Mr. Mokgotsi, you must have a broad sense of when last you used Telegram. I mean, maybe at tea time you can open your phone and look at what your Telegram account says.
Yeah, I mean, I can look for it, Commissioners. But what I'm saying, and all these phones are new, you need to know. And there are reasons. There are reasons why one will stop using a certain app. Like in the case of Telegram, there were very few people using it in the network. Everyone will use a WhatsApp or Signal.
So when you stopped using Telegram, what platform did you use for your clandestine messaging?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
That's correct.
But you communicated with the minister on Signal. Was that his choice?
It's not his choice. I also downloaded the Signal because he was using Signal.
Sorry, I didn't hear your first half of that answer. You also?
Downloaded Signal. But
You downloaded Signal?
Yes. He's using Signal. He was using Signal also.
Yes. Did you download it for the purpose of communicating with the minister?
Not only that, then other few people also.
Do you remember when you downloaded Signal?
I can't remember.
When the minister, did you have Signal on your phone when you first started communicating with the minister?
I really cannot remember, commissioners. You know, I'm saying most of the time I'm using the WhatsApp. And some of the apps, like you are referring to Signal, I don't know if, I believe I downloaded it somewhere last year, the Signal. And as you scroll the phone, you'll start seeing people who are also using Signal. Then that's when you start greeting a person to say, hey, are you on Signal? I'm also on Signal.
But presumably the minister is also on WhatsApp.
That's correct.
Why did you communicate with him on Signal?
We also communicated on WhatsApp. It was not only on Signal. Like I said, when you scroll the phone, you start seeing people who are using Signal.
Now, I understand that, but why did you choose to communicate with the minister on Signal? Why did you send Signal messages to the minister rather than WhatsApps?
You start seeing him using your Signal and you greet and say, hello, are you also on Signal? And you start talking. There's no specific reason that we must talk on Signal.
So you use WhatsApp and Signal interchangeably?
That's correct. When I'm just that I don't have Signal anymore also.
And if I understood you correctly, that when you went onto Signal, you realized that the minister was also on Signal, so you reached out to him on Signal.
That's correct.
Can we go to the first Signal text I want to discuss with you? It's at page 52. Page 52 of the Annex bundle.
That's correct.
And we touched on it, I think, 2 days ago. You'll recall just below Monday, December 23, so it's 23 December 2024, that would have been, you sent the minister a message saying, we got a breakthrough. You recall that?
Oh, this is not, I'm looking at this at the wrong bundle, sorry.
Page 52.
5-2.
Annexures bundle. I was looking at the exhibits bundle also, Mr. Mokotsi.
That's correct.
Now, in relation to this breakthrough, can we assume that it related to something that you and the minister had been discussing at the time? Because it would be odd for you just to text the Minister of Police out of the blue to say, we've got a breakthrough. He must have known what you were talking about.
You know, after our engagement, commissioners, about this chat, I went and checked. I really, in bringing all these chats and pieces together, I cannot really find a way to contextualize this message because I forgot what we were talking about.
So you can't recall what you and the minister were talking about in late December 2024?
I can't remember.
How many conversations did you have with the minister in 2024?
23, Mr. Chairman.
2024, it's the 23rd of December 2024.
communications I had with the minister.
I mean, how regularly were you talking about with the minister that you can't recall what you were talking about?
Yeah, we would talk not so many times, but with this one, because I remember we were talking over the phone, but we got a breakthrough. I can't remember what was this about.
What topics did you discuss with the minister when you spoke to him in that period when you were speaking to him?
It will be, you mean the period that we are here on
I'm
this?
talking about, if I understood your version, and I think it broadly tallies with that of the minister and the chief of staff, you were in touch with him from I think it was September 2024, they say, and we've seen that that communication ran on, at least through Signal, into January 2025. What sort of topics were you addressing with the minister?
It will be political topics, except the other message that I sent to him regarding what we discussed last time here about the Constitutional Court judgment. But the other time we'll only talk about political things.
You see, Ms. Poy has pointed out to me that when we asked you this question, when you were discussing this text 2 days ago, you said it was about Stilfontein. There was a breakthrough in Stilfontein.
In the one about the yeah, the Stilfontein, we're talking about the arrest. When he asked, was the arrest effected? If you remember, I said, there I can still remember we were talking about the Stilfontein.
But this breakthrough wasn't about Stilfontein that you can remember.
I could have said if it was, because me and him, that time we were talking about a community meeting which was held at Stilfontein, and the community were looking for that suspect, and he was never arrested. So I can't remember this breakthrough, what was it about?
You see, yesterday the Chief of Staff of the Minister was in Parliament, and he was also just talking about Stilfontein. Everyone was talking about Stilfontein. Did you see the evidence of the Stilfontein, on Stilfontein from the Chief of Staff?
I can't hear the question, Commissioner.
The Chief of Staff was in Parliament, the Minister's Chief of Staff, Mr. Nkabinde. He was testifying at Parliament yesterday. And when he was asked about this contact that you had, and in particular meetings you had with the Minister, everything was about Stilfontein.
Yes, I didn't hear him, but yes, the Minister was in Stilfontein, and I was also there.
You see, I want to put to you that you know that this breakthrough had nothing to do with Stilfontein. It had to do with something else.
Unless, Commissioners, you know what is that, now I can't remember.
Well, let me take you through the chats. Let's start with this one. We've got a breakthrough. Can you see the time of that chat?
Yes, I can see it.
Monday, the 23rd of December, what time?
10:34.
I'd like you to take that page and the next page out of the file so that you can keep them on one side.
Yes, I can see them.
Got page 52 and 53 out of the file.
Yes, they're here.
I mean, I actually want you to take them out the file because I'm going to take you somewhere else in the file, and I want you to be able to look at both at the same time.
Tate.
Absolutely. Because this is a rare situation where we actually know what you were doing on the 23rd of December at 10:34. Can you go to page 45? And at the top of the page, you will see at exactly the same time, 23rd of December, 2024, 10:34, you were on the phone. You, in fact, called Kat Madlanga. You called him at 10:34:40, but the call may not have gone through because at 10:34:59, Kat Madlanga called you back.
That's correct.
And then at 10:35, you texted him, iPad guy, name. Does that help you remember what the breakthrough was?
No, it doesn't go together, this one. Because even when he said iPad guy, when I wanted the name of the iPad guy, he never gave me that name. And that's, even if he had given me, we would probably say that was the breakthrough. But he never gave me the name.
Sorry, Mr. Mokgotsi, I must ask you to answer these questions as an honest witness, not as an operative trying to pursue an operation at this point. You texted the minister at 10:34. And you texted the minister saying, we got a breakthrough.
That's correct.
At 10:34, you had just come off a call, 2 calls in fact, to Mr. Madlanga.
That's correct.
And after you texted the minister at 10:34, less than a minute after, because 10:35 exactly, you text back to Mr. Madlanga, iPad guy, name.
That's correct. But you see, in this situation, it happens to everyone. When you are chatting with someone and then you receive another call, when you answer that call, the particular person will start chatting to you. It has nothing to do with the breakthrough, unless if the iPad guy's name was given to me and I say, yes, we've got a breakthrough. It was not.
Mr. Mokgotsi, I have to put to you that your answer in this regard is false, but let's go through the texts.
Okay.
Let's go back to page 52 to see what happens later on the 24th of December, on the 23rd of December. The minister calls you back at 11:23. You often get called by the minister.
Commissioner?
Do you often get called by the minister?
Yeah, you do call me, but you'll find that if we have spoken that day and we continue what we're talking about, probably you'll then call me.
I see. He really seemed to want to get hold of you because he called you twice.
That's correct.
Called you again at 14:49.
That's correct.
And you still can't recall what he was calling about?
I thought, Commissioner, I can't recall. I thought you'll go to the 24th and he asked me about the arrest. You see, if...
Sorry, Mr. Mokgotsi, I must ask you to answer these questions as they... You can't recall.
Yes.
Let me help you again. Go back to page 45. The minister has called you at 14:49. You've had a conversation with him, apparently.
Who called me Madlanga?
No. Go to 52, or you can look behind you at 52, or look to your left at 52. Yeah. And you'll see that there's an incoming call from the minister at 14:49.
That's correct.
And then, 7 minutes later, if we go back to page 45,
right,
we see that you've sent Mr. Madlanga this message at 10:35 saying iPad guy name, and he hasn't come back to you.
That's
So
correct.
7 minutes after the minister calls you, you send him another message. My brother, any news from iPad?
Yes, I can see, yeah, that's correct.
Why were you so anxious to get iPad news from Mr. Madlanga? Was it that you didn't want to disappoint the minister?
No, the minister did not want the iPad guy. It is me who wanted the iPad guy. It is me who was pushing Kat to give me the iPad guy. And I'm still repeating, Commissioners, unless if I send a message, we got a breakthrough, on the other side, we find that Kat has given me the iPad guy's name. Probably that would be the iPad, that would be the breakthrough. That's what would relate to the message of the breakthrough.
But then, sorry, I'm not understanding your answer. Are you saying that the breakthrough would be a breakthrough if Kat had told you who the iPad guy was?
I'm saying the message that you say, I remember, and it is linked to my communication with Kat and the minister, would have made sense that the portion where I say we got a breakthrough would have made sense, because you imply that I was looking for the iPad guy, simultaneously I was talking to the minister, with our communication differs in seconds. If there was a breakthrough, it means it would have been that iPad guy. So it is not, and I cannot remember this message.
Well, let me suggest you another breakthrough that there may have been. You may have been told that there are grounds to arrest members of the PKTT for assaulting, allegedly assaulting Mr. Madlanga when they arrested him on the 6th of December. And you may have reported that to the minister as a breakthrough.
Probably that would be a prophecy from somewhere.
That could be.
Maybe someone prophesizing. It's not that.
You did by this stage know that Mr. Madlanga was alleging that he had been assaulted, he and his wife had been assaulted on the 6th of December.
Yes, I did. And even if those people could have been arrested, there was no need for me to tell the minister.
I see. Yeah. Well, let's look at the texts again. You've asked Mr. Madlanga, still on the 23rd of December at 14:46, my brother, any news from iPad?
That's correct.
Don't get a reply from him, so you call him at 15:39 on that day.
That's correct.
Why would you be calling him? You also called him at 15:40, we see lower down.
And me and Kat were talking.
You've asked him twice for details of an iPad guy early in the day and he hasn't got back to you.
Yes, he did not come back to me.
Will you accept that the probabilities are that when you're calling him, you're looking for that iPad guy?
No, there won't be. It would have been the possibility, but if I don't remember, I don't remember. But I'm still saying I was looking for the iPad guy. And the possibility may be that, of course, I was looking for the iPad guy. But it's not easy to convey a message verbally to someone on those things. It's easy to say any iPad guy because I wanted the name. So I would want him probably to type it or to get something tangible.
So, and he hasn't yet told you who the iPad guy is?
He didn't tell me. You'll see in our chats. In some of the chats, he do acknowledges that the iPad guy could not help him and he was not brave enough. It's written in one of the messages. Yeah, there we go. On page 47, he said, on page 47, if you go there, I asked him, iPad guy can be a breakthrough. It's me saying that.
We'll come to that in due course.
And he answered, there's a bit of a hurdle there, but I'll fill you in. And I said, will it work? It never worked.
Mr. Mokotsi, we'll get to, I promise you'll have an opportunity to explain that chat because the word that you use calls for some explanation. But we'll get there in due course. I want to take this chronologically.
All right.
Let's see what the next stage of these proceedings is. On the 24th of December, if we go back to page 53 and your WhatsApps to the minister, you see on Tuesday, the 24th of December at 19:19, It's the minister who's initiating contact again, and he says, was the arrest effected?
This I remember.
And what do you say this was?
And in the Stilfontein,
We're back with Stilfontein now.
that's correct.
Okay, I want to put it to you that that's false, and you know it's false.
It's not false, it's true. It's me who was talking to the minister. There's no way you can know that.
Sorry, no one was talking to the minister here. This was the minister texting you.
Yes, I'm saying it is me who was chatting with him, and it's me who was in contact with him. There is no way a third person can say, I'm lying, it's not true, we were talking about something else. It's true what is that you see here.
Let's see how you respond to the minister. Well, first of all, we see that you did actually respond. Can we just stay on 53? There was a response that you sent on Tuesday, December the 24th. We can see the top, that little blue line at the top represents a message that would have come from you, but we can't see what its content was because it's obscured by the sign that says signal message. So
No,
we
but-
know you responded, and that you responded on Tuesday, December the 24th. We just don't know what you said.
Yeah, I can see, but I believe you, commissioners, this is most downloadable from the from the iPhone 16. It's supposed to come out clear. I don't know why is it like this.
Sorry, Mr. Mokgotsi, this is a screenshot that you yourself took of your communications with the minister, then WhatsApped it to Mr. Mokgotsi, Mr. Madlanga.
No, I know I'm Mr. Madlanga at the moment. Yeah, but I responded there, as you say, but I know we're talking about the Stilfontein.
You know you're talking about Stilfontein now.
I can't hear the question.
You know now that that was about Stilfontein.
About the arrest. That's correct.
Who was arrested in Stilfontein?
It was, like I said, they were looking for a suspect after a community meeting, and he asked me if there was the arrest was. Then I called him. I also called him. I remember to say there was no any arrest.
Of course, if we had access to your signal chats, all of this would be resolved. But it seems that you no longer have access to your signal.
You know, during our interaction with your office, one of the investigators told me that I should do certain things to access and talk to whoever I did. I'm going to try to I know there's going to be cross-examinations and all those things. I'll try to get these things also.
You'll
And
try
by
to
the way-
reconstruct your signal account.
Yeah, and by the way, there is a process. I believe that Ket Matlala's phone and
Ready to lead the future of AI and business with a doctorate? Join the Doctorate in Business Administration in AI and ML program, and you will earn a doctorate and a master's in AI and ML, together from Walsh College, a top-ranked WES-recognized institution. No GRE, GMAT, or TOEFL required. Apply AI to real business challenges through 2 capstone projects and a thesis. Start your doctoral journey today.
the signal. I'll try my best because it will also help me.
It would help you to have your signal back.
No, in these proceedings, like these messages which one cannot answer, there won't be a time where someone say, I'm putting to you that you are talking about something. If the signal can work, that question will not, that statement will not come again.
A signal would help both of us, I suspect.
That's correct.
Before we leave this text, the minister says, was the arrest effected? That's quite formal language. Is that how the minister speaks?
I don't know the formal and informal. Commissioners, I did tell you, I do not have formal, I'm not matriculated and I cannot literally say if this is formal and this is not formal.
Well, he isn't saying were they arrested or did they make an arrest. He's saying was the arrest effected?
On the keeping of the Stilfontein whom the community was looking for.
Can you give us some details of this Stilfontein arrest that has now loomed so large? Who was the suspect? Was the suspect ever arrested?
I don't know anymore, but
Sorry, you don't know any more.
yes, I've not been following that since.
So we can assume that in December 2024, the suspect wasn't arrested.
No, that time was not arrested.
Yeah.
I'm just saying ever since this July 6, all our lives have changed.
And I can understand that, but I'm very curious about these Stilfontein stories that we keep hearing about. Who was the suspect? What was the suspect alleged to have done?
That king of the Zamazamas who was arrested and escaped from custody. The community was willing and they were trying to show some leads where to find the person.
Right, but that person was never arrested.
To date, I cannot confirm, but that time he was not arrested.
So when you sent a text to the minister saying you had a breakthrough, it didn't relate to the arrest of the king of the Zamazamas because he's still at large.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If it was, I would have said yes, it was the Zamazamas because the person was arrested. So since there was no any arrest effected, I cannot link the two messages.
So the breakthrough wasn't about the Zamazamas?
No, I can't remember. It was not about.
There was some other breakthrough that you can't recall.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Let's follow that chronology a bit further. Now, we need to go back to page 46. And we see on page 46 two things, which is before the ministers texted you at 1919, you've called Mr. Matlala at 1405.
But I don't see where you say the minister called me. Is it the same?
No, remember the minister calls you, the minister texts you on Signal, before the minister texts you on Signal.
Yes, but that means it's the separate 2 pages that you said I should keep separate.
Yes, your communications with the minister are on pages 52 and 53.
That's correct, I have it.
So, on the 24th at 1405, you had an audio call with Mr. Matlala. The minister then asks about whether an arrest has been effected at 19 hours 19, that's page 53. And nothing comes back from Mr. Matlala. But you end up calling him at 3 minutes past 11 on Christmas Eve.
Calling who, Commissioner?
Mr. Matlala. Was that because you were very anxious to find out about the iPad guy because you wanted to give the minister a Christmas present?
Commissioners, I don't know how will this be understood well that the two messages, the two communications between myself and the minister and myself and Kat do not really apply to the messages of Minister Senzo. And
Well,
about the Christmas present, I don't know of a Christmas present.
I see. Let's see what happens on Christmas Day. If we go down to 8:42, that's just almost 8:45 on Christmas morning, you send Mr. Matlala a WhatsApp. Good day, bro. I believe it was a misdial, sorry. 1 iPad. So on Christmas Day, you are still badgering Mr. Matlala to give you details about iPad.
Yeah, that's correct.
We go down a little bit, in fact, over the page, all the way down to to 9:18 on Christmas Day on page 47. You got that?
Time?
9:18. Sort of towards the bottom of page 47.
Yes, I see.
You got it?
Yes,
You send Mr. Matlala a message, and the message says, IPID can be a breakthrough.
That's correct.
Does that word breakthrough ring a bell?
To get there, I think that should be read together with page 46, where I say, good day, brah, Christmas 0842. I believe it was a misdial, sorry. Then 1, IPID, 2, court case date, 3, 25%, we may lose accommodation and flight packages. It must be read with that. So I knew that when he can get the IPID person, it will help him to deal with the police, those handled his wife and everything. But particularly for me, I wanted to know the IPID person. Why
did you want to know the IPID person?
Because he could do wonders. The way he told me he could deal with, it was his connection, and I wanted to know him, and he was telling me that guy can do wonders, can arrest.
And what would these wonders do to advance your operation?
Is to know this particular IPID guy who is able to perform his duties so wonderfully, instructed by this private person.
I see. Let's follow the chats. You say IPID can be a breakthrough.
That's correct.
Was it just a coincidence that you used breakthrough in your text to the minister a couple of days earlier and breakthrough there?
Yeah, it's a coincidence.
Unfortunate coincidence.
Question, Commissioner?
An unfortunate coincidence.
Yeah, it's a coincidence.
I see. What happens later is you've texted at 9:18. Mr. Matlala says at 9:18, there's a bit of a hurdle there, but I'll fill you in. You text back at 10:32, will it work? And he says at 10:54, need someone brave enough.
That's correct. It means that IPID guy couldn't do it, and he ended up not giving the name of the IPID guy, but the man was not brave enough.
I see. So we didn't have an IPID guy who was brave enough. Yeah. Let's go down the chat until we get to 27 December, the day that you forward him the minister's exchange. Page 52. You got it?
I got it. It's the one I have in my hand.
Indeed. On the 27th of December, you send Mr. Matlala your exchange with the minister about breakthroughs and whether arrests were effected. You follow that?
I can't follow.
What you have in your hand, pages 52 and 53, is a screenshot of your signal chat to the minister that you sent to Mr. Matlala on the 27th of December at 12:01. You'll see the date when you sent it to Mr. Matlala if you go to the top of page 52.
That's correct.
So you have a screenshot of your signal account with the minister. Take a screenshot, you forward it to Mr. Matlala on WhatsApp on the 27th of December at 12:01.
That's correct.
And what you're forwarding to him is this.
Thing of Stilfontein.
Well, you say it's a thing of Stilfontein. What it says is we got a breakthrough and was the arrest effected?
Yeah, but this...
And then 4 minutes after you, sorry, not 4 minutes, 12:05, 4 minutes after you've sent it to him, you send him a one-word message that says IPID.
That's correct.
Why did you send that one-word message, iPad, to him straight after forwarding him the minister's?
No, I was going back to the discussion, our discussion about the iPad, but I can tell you why did this message go to him of the Stilfontein. Then the police who released, let's start my work again. The police who were charged for the escape of that Kingpin, which we were looking for. There was a case and they were charged. And one of these police is based here in Pretoria. And this, as I was talking, maybe this won't, I can't remember, but we were talking, me and Kate, on the phone. And he told me, you know, I've got a guy. This guy can help us, because I was telling him about that guy, because the one of them who was charged staying in Pretoria. And he felt that that guy wanted to tell the truth.
Sorry, can I just clarify what you're saying now? That
Yes.
Mr. Matlala
Yes.
had told you that he knew this guy.
Who was one of the police officers who were charged for the
Okay.
escape of the Kingpin.
Of allowing the Kingpin to escape.
Yes, that one.
Is this the same story as that
The same
operation? Sorry, hang on a minute. The operation
Volume code.
with Colonel Maluleke that you did with the Nkabis that won you the trust of General Sibia, or is it a different situation?
No, this is a different situation. We are talking about, here's the person we wanted to have, the Kingpin who ran away. Now, this Kingpin who ran away, commissioners, we could not get him. Now, I reached to Madlanga that, you know, we are looking for this and this and this person. The police allowed, or they ganged or whatever, but they teamed up to have this man escaped. And he said, indeed, there's one guy also from here who was working there. I think he may know how this whole thing happened.
You see, what's odd about this explanation is there's not the faintest hint of it in any of the WhatsApps that we see between yourself and Mr. Matlala, which traverse a very wide range of subjects, but never touch on Stilfontein at all.
Yeah, but we would also talk over the phone, because that was now when I was talking to him over the phone.
I see. So you're suggesting that it's just another unfortunate coincidence that when you send the minister's communication to you, to Mr. Matlala, you just happened, unfortunately, to follow it up with a one-line message saying iPad. That message was sent 4 minutes later.
Yeah, but iPad has always been our story, me and Matlala. And I told him that we are looking for this particular guy. And some of the information he provided about this police officer who was charged could not actually help us at the end of the day. We couldn't find that man. And this, for the commission's knowledge, information, those police who were charged, they are still, I think their disciplinary hearings have just been concluded. I'm not sure, since July 6.
Let's follow the chats. 12:05, you say iPad.
That's correct.
You get a response about 20 minutes later from Mr. Matlala who says, let me know when you get back.
That's correct.
12:31, you say, what does the guy need? And then you say, I'm heading to Cape Town for January the 8th at 12:32. And then Mr. Matlala writes back to you at 12:37. The case needs to have assault for him to effect arrest.
That's correct.
He uses that same phrase, effect arrest. Is that another coincidence?
That's correct. Well, that's an English word, eh? Which is
It is an English word. It's quite a formal way of describing the process of arresting someone.
Yeah, but this cat, I couldn't tell him what to write and how not to write. It's an
Yes,
English
but
word.
so it's another one of these inexplicable, unfortunate coincidences that he just happens to use the same formal language as the minister does when he comes to describing the process of arrest.
No, probably not like the minister does. Maybe just because he just copied maybe from what I sent him, or it's an English that came to him that time. Just an English word.
I see, because he then goes on to use what sounds like his own English when he says he's saying he can't do arrest if there's no J88 to prove assault.
That's correct.
And my wife is not keen to open up an assault case. The guards who were assaulted at my house only coming back in January, they went home for Christmas.
That's correct. May I add something here, Commissioner? The formal way of writing, you see, if you can check how I write and how Kat writes, usually, the case needs to have, yes, he types his sentences in full. He like typing formally. That's how he types, unlike me. So his English is very, very formal.
Is he can't do arrest a formal description in the sentence that's typed in full?
I can't understand the question, Commissioner.
You're saying when he types in full, he likes to use formal English, but
That's
in
correct.
this paragraph where he types in full, first he says the case needs to have assault for him to effect arrest, mirroring exactly what the minister said. And then he says he's saying he can't do arrest if there's no J88. Is do arrest a formal, Mr. Matlala's usual formal style for typing out long sentences?
Yeah, but this is how it's written. I don't know if commissioners, was he expected to repeat effect arrest so that the English could be proper?
You were the one who said he writes formally when he writes in long sentences.
Yeah, and formally, commissioners, you cannot repeat the sentence, the words. Like here, he doesn't even say to open a case. If it's me, I would write 2 in a number. And I'll open up an assault case. I would have just said a criminal or a case. But I'm trying to show you that he even put a comma. That's very formal way of writing. Comma, the guards who were assaulted at my house, everything is formal, how he types.
You see, Mr. Matlala, what I'm going to put to you is that it is absolutely clear from these chats that what you and the minister were discussing on 23 and 24 December was the possible arrest of PKTT members by IPID in relation to the events during the 6 December operation at Mr. Matlala's house.
No, that was not the discussion. That was not the discussion. It cannot be that I can discuss the arrest of these PKTT members with the minister. And to be clear with you, I know who can arrest and who has that power to arrest the PKTT. I cannot even think that I can rely on Matlala to get me IPID guy to arrest this guy. I wanted the IPID guy. So the notion that you are saying is totally not true.
Why did you want the IPID guy?
Because they said he can do wonders. And the wonders meaning he could, and I wanted to know who this person, it was not the first time I hear about him. It was not the first time.
So what were you hoping to achieve through the IPID guy?
After I got him.
Who did you want the IPID guy to arrest?
No, I did not want that. I was not interested in how the IPID will arrest those people. I wanted to know the IPID guy.
Why did you want to know an IPID guy?
This was my investigation for my own operation.
For what purpose?
Purpose will never be understood, Commissioner. I wanted this particular guy.
This particular iPad guy,
That's correct.
the one who